Welcome back. Today we're going to learn how to solve multi-step equations. So here are the steps to solving multi-step equations. Step 1, we move all grouping symbols by using the de Sitter property. Step 2, combine like terms on the left side, then combine like terms on the right side. Step 3, remove all fractions. Step 4, move your variables to one side of the equation. And then step 5, solve like a regular two-step equation. Let's take a look at this example here. Example 1. I want to solve this equation. So I'm just going to go through the steps that I gave you. So step 1 says to remove all grouping symbols. Well, there isn't no grouping symbol, so step 1's done for us. Let's move on to step 2. Step 2 says combine like terms on the left side. Combine like terms on the right side. So if we look at the left side here, do we have any like terms? No. On the right side, do we have any like terms? No. So step 2 is done. So on step 3. Step 3 says remove all of the fractions. Well, we have 3 fractions. We want to get rid of all those fractions so we don't have to deal with them. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at the denominators. We got 3, 5, and 3. You want to find the least common denominator, the least common multiple. So if you count by threes, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so forth. And then count by fives, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and so forth. What's the first number that they have in common? 15. So the least common denominator is 15. So here's what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to use 15 to get rid of all the fractions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this entire equation and multiply it by 15. So I'm going to multiply everything in this equation by 15. What that would do is that's going to get rid of all the fractions. So how many times am I going to be multiplying by 15? 4 times. So what I like to do, instead of just writing a single 15 out here, what I like to do is I like to write 15 down 4 times. So that's how many times I'll have to multiply. So I'm going to put 15, 15, 15, and 15. So I'm going to take 15 times 2/3 x. So that's like having 15 over 1 times 2/3 x. So if you guys remember back to middle school, when you multiply fractions, you can do it 2 ways. You can multiply straight across. So you go 15 times 2 is 30. And then 1 times 3 is 3. And then reduce, which is 10. Or you can cancel. Like right here, this 3 can go into 15 5 times. So then we got 5 times 2, which is 10. And on the bottom, 1 times 1 is 1. So we have 10 over 1, which is just 10. This is the way I prefer to do it. So I'm going to take 15 and multiply by this. So how many times is 3 going to 15? 5 times. So mark it the 3 out, put a 5 here. And then 5 times 2 is 10. So we get 10x. Now I'm going to do it again. So now I want to take 15 times 1/5. Well, 5 goes into 15 3 times. So then 3 times 1 is 3. Then you got your equal sign. If you notice here, the 2, you got to multiply the 15 by the 2 as well. You don't just do the fractions. You got to do everything. Well, on the 2, what's the fraction would be over 1? 1 goes into 15 15 times, so nothing cancels out. So this is just be 15 times 2, which is 30. And then last, I'm going to take 15 times 1/3. Well, 3 goes into 15 5 times, and then 5 times 1 would be 5. So now we did step 3. We got rid of all the fractions. So now step 4 says move your variables to one side of the equation. If you notice, on this equation we have two variables. We got 10x and a 5x. And on the opposite sides. We want to move them to one side. So what you normally do is you move the smaller variable. We got 10 and 5. 5 is smaller than 10, so we're going to move the 5x. So to move the 5x, what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. Because remember, whatever you do to one side, you got to do to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. When we do that, we'll get 10 minus 5x is 5x, plus 3 is equal to 30, because these cancel out. And now we got step 4 done, so now we're on step 5. Now it's like what you did the day before. It's a two-step equation. So look at the side that has the variable. We want to get rid of the 3, so subtract 3 from both sides. We get 5x equals 30 minus 3 is 27. Then last, divide both sides by 5. So x is equal to 27 over 5. All right, let's try another example. Example 2. I want to solve this equation here. So I'm going to go through these steps that I have listed over to the left side. So I'm just always going to go through these steps. So step 1, remove all grouping symbols. We have a lot of grouping symbols here. How do we remove the grouping symbols? We use the de Sitter property. So we're going to take this 2 here and multiply by the x. 2 times x is 2x. Take the 2 times 5, which is 10. And then we got equals. And then we're going to take 3 times 2x, 6x. 3 times the 5, 15. And then we have negative 2 times 2x would be negative 4x. Negative 2 times this 5, which is negative, becomes a positive 10. So we did step 1. Now on step 2, I'm just going to draw a dividing line here. Remember the equal sign divides into the left and the right side. So it's combine like terms on the left side. Well, the left side doesn't have like terms, so it's already simplified. So you can't do anything to the left side. Now I'm going to add our like terms on the right side. Well, we have 2 terms that have an x. What is 6x minus 4x? 2x. And then we can add the 15 and the 10 together, which gives us 25. So we got step 2 done. Step 3 says remove all fractions. There's no fractions, so step 3 is done. Step 4, move your variables to one side of the equation. Again, we got 2 variables. We got 2x and 2x. We want to move the smaller one. Well, these are the same size, so it doesn't matter which one you move. Let's move this one. So let's subtract 2x from both sides. Well, 2x minus 2x cancels out. So you just got 10 on this side. 2x minus 2x cancels out, equals 25. What happens here is the x is gone. This is a special type of equation. It's either no solution or infinite many solutions. Well, now you look at what you have left over. You get 10 equals 25. Is this a true statement? No, this is a false statement. 10 doesn't equal 25. So the solution to this equation is there is no solution. There is no value of x that would make this equation true. If we would have had the problem and worked it out, we would have got 10 is equal to 10, then this has a solution. If you do get a problem where the variables cancel out and you get like 10 equals 10, or 5 equals 5, or 0 equals 0, then the solution is infinite many solutions. Because every value of x works. It's all real numbers. Every real number works. All right, one more example. Let's look at example 3 here. Okay, again, step 1. Remove all grouping symbols by using the distributive property. So we're going to do that first. So we're going to get rid of my grouping symbols. So I'm going to take 2/3 times 3x. So you can think of that as 3x over 1. So 2 times 3 is 6, and then 3 times 1 is 3. So this gives us 6 over 3, which is 2. So this will be just 2x. Now I'm going to take 2/3 and multiply by the 4. So let's put it over 1. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 1 is 3. So we get 8/3. And that's equal to 1/4 plus x. So we get step 1 done. Step 2, combine like terms on the left side. And then combine like terms on the right side. Well, that step's already done. Step 3, remove all fractions. Well, we want to get rid of the fractions. So look at the denominators. We got 3 and 4. So if you count by 3s, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so forth. Count by 4, 4, 8, 12. We can stop right there. We found the first number they have in common. So 12 is the common denominator. So what we want to do is we want to multiply this whole equation by 12. How many times am I going to multiply by 12? How many terms does this equation have? It's 4 terms. So I'm going to put down 4 12s over here. So I'm going to take 12 times 2x. 12 times 2x is 24x. Now I'm going to take 12 times 8/3. Well, again, 3 goes into 12 4 times, so this will be just 4 times 8, which is 32. Equals, take 12 times 1/4. Well, 4 goes into 12 3 times. So this will be 3 times 1, which is 3. And then last, 12 times x is 12x. So we got rid of all the fractions. Now we want to move our variables to one side. And always move the smaller variable. About 99% of the time, that's going to be your best choice. So I'm going to subtract 12x on both sides. 24 minus 12x is 12x. Plus 32 equals 3. Now it's like a 2-step equation. We solved these yesterday. So the next step would be subtract 32. We get 12x is equal to negative 29. And then last, divide by 12. Divide by 12. 12 doesn't go in 29 evenly. 29 and 12 don't have a common divisor. So the solution is x equals negative 29 over 12.